Okay, so I'm going to solve this exact same problem that we did in the previous video, um, except this time I'm going to use a different method, and this is going to be using a unit circle. Okay, it's a little bit faster than this method, because this method you have to create your general formula, you know, and you just plug in values of k, and it just gets really long and tedious. But this is going to be a little bit more intuitive. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to set this to theta. We're going to start off the same way. Okay, since we're going to use our unit circle, and we're going to be looking at where is this angle going to be equal to, where is that angle going to give me of sine value of 1/2. So we start off the same way. We still end up with saying, well, 2 theta must be equal to, that angle was pi over 6, right? And 2 theta must be equal to 5 pi over 6. Okay, so I'm still pretty much starting off the same way, but this time I'm gonna change my range here. Okay, and I'm gonna actually get this in terms of theta. And what I'm gonna do is, instead of going from 0, since theta is between 0 and 2 pi, okay, if I were to figure out the range, I'm basically going to try and get this theta to look like 2 theta. Okay, and in order to do that, what do I have to do to this condition? If I multiply this inside part by 2, I have to multiply this by 2 and multiply this by 2. Basically, I have to do the same thing to each side of this inequality statement. Okay, so that's going to be 0 times 2, which is still going to be 0. That's going to be 2 pi times 2, which is now 4 pi. Okay, and I'll show you, and I'll explain why we're doing this. Okay, right now I only have 2 answers because I've only rotated from 0 to 2 pi. But since we're talking about 2 theta, okay, we have to change this to rotate to 4 pi. So this is my new range, right? So now since I've only gone from 0 to 2 pi, really, right? Here I'm at 0. Here I'm at pi over 6. Here I'm at 5 pi over 6. In terms of 2 pi or 2 theta, right? So now I need to go all the way around to 2 pi, and then go again to one more time to 4 pi. So I have to go all the way around one more time. So here, that's my first revolution, and then I'm going to have 2 theta equals basically pi over 6 plus one more revolution, right? It's pi over 6 plus 2 pi. So you can see it's really the same thing as what we're doing up there, but it's a little bit more intuitive, okay? And so if I go around, am I going to come back and hit this again? No. So that's going to be the only time that I hit this point in my interval, on my second revolution, I should say. Okay, on my second revolution for this point, I'm going to hit this one more time. I'm going to go 5 pi over 6, and then I just keep going around, and every time I hit it, I write down my answer. So there's 5 pi over 6, that's 2 pi, and that would be 2 pi plus 5 pi over 6. Okay, so I have 2 pi, it would be this one, 5 pi over 6 plus 2 pi. Okay, notice that this is because I've gone one more revolution. All right, so this would be my list of answers here, and now I can just convert these and solve these for theta. So notice again, I have 4 answers. Okay, I have 4 answers, which is what I want, which is what I had up here. And let's just rewrite this a little bit in an easier way. You can write this like this: pi over 6 to save a little bit of space. 5 pi over 6, that would be times 6, that would be 12, so that would be 13 pi over 6. That would be times 6 over 6, that would be 12 plus 5, so that would be 17 pi over 6. Okay, so these would be my answers for 2 theta, but the question said solve it for theta. I'm looking for my theta. Whoops. So what I need to do here is I need to go to, and divide all of these by 2. Okay, it's really doing all of this work in one step. So if I divide everything by 2, I get pi over 12, I get 5 pi over 12, I get 13 pi over 12, and I get 17 pi over 12. And this is exactly what I had in my previous answer, right up here. Same thing as this when I used this textbook method, right? Okay, so you can choose which method you want to use. I think this second method is a little bit faster and more intuitive, and I'll probably be using the second method as we move on into the next examples. Okay, but whichever one you want to use, I'm fine with either method. All right, thank you.